Pip Foundation has developed a unique counseling interview technique with a holistic, solution-focused approach that enables a practitioner to work with vulnerable children and their families that need guidance in their psychosocial needs to get a better understanding and insight of the underlying issues that have affected their lives. In this video, you will hear why an institute chooses to upgrade their staff and recommend the Pip methodology to all organizations and institutions who reintegrate children back to their communities. Practitioners will share the benefits of being trained and how they have implemented the methodology into their workload as a gatekeeping mechanism or curative measure.
It was because the staff and the institution was having a rough time with the children who were not able to open up. So we really needed a methodology which could assist us to enable crack on the children to open up, and we realized that Pip methodology was able to do this for us. This showed us a difference because then we were able to get more information. And with more information, it meant that we were able to follow up on the child, know even the historical background of the child and the problems when the problem started, and we could be able now to develop a way forward and even come up with solutions on how to assist those children. Unlike when it was earlier on, whereby we could even act on wrong information given by the children. And this methodology has now enabled us to get right information on time and be able to act on that information, therefore making better decisions. And with better decisions, what we have realized is that there is now the aspect of proper integration and permanency in the environments where we now place them back after coming from the institution. And we have therefore had less problems because of the monitoring aspect that also comes with Pip methodology, unlike what we used to do earlier on. It is a plus. Gentlemen, this is a plus. That even with now the piloting of the program, for us, we have had that advantage that even before we had learned now a proper case management process, and which was coming with now the aspect of using puppets, which is now also not even currently in alternative family-based care, a program that is being piloted within the county. But if you look at it now keenly, and you want to understand how Pip methodology is going even to add value to what we are piloting, then you'll realize that the reintegration process does not only end at placement or reunification of the child with the caregivers, but it goes further, meaning that there will be monitoring and follow-up after that placement. And Pip methodology has enabled us now, or will enable us, to get more information even as the process goes on, up to until now we'll be able to close up the case. I have recommended Pip to many organizations and individuals because of the value that it adds to the program. And working in the best interest of the child, I want to assure you that in the interest of that child, then Pip is actually the best. Look at it this way, that child participation needs always to be reintegrated in the programs of children. The normal counseling programs somehow does not enhance child participation, but the using puppet interview program, it enhances child participation. I will recommend it all the time. I will.
Interview methodology will actually look at the broader context. It does not only blame the individual, but it's actually put it out that individual is part of a whole, where the whole here is the system. The problem, when the problem arises from an individual, there are other factors, external factors, which might have caused or brought this problem. So we have to shift our blame and explore the meaning, the function, and the behavior rather than the cause of the problem.
It is very easy to use the puppets to inquire or to get an insightful observation how children relate back at home in their families, and how even they can relate with others in the school. I've learned that a problem which a child has is not an individual problem. That problem might have been inherited from a family, from the second generation or third generation.
Introductory part is very important. It should not be rushed. It should take a lot of time. The use of puppets makes the situation more visible, and it can be understood easily when the puppets are used. The systemic approach is a very good approach whereby instead of focusing on the individual and the problem, we also focus on the surroundings. It's based on the fact that behaviors are influenced by the environment.
Through puppets, it is quite easy to get information on how interactions and relations work in various contexts. Through the puppets, the counselor is able to understand exactly the positions, the relations, and also how different kind of behaviors impact the various contexts. The puppets make it easier for the interviewer to get maximum participation from the participants. I'm happy because apart from the formal ways of counseling, I now have a technique of making it a little bit more fun when working with children, and also a little bit easier to get some information that you might not necessarily get by just mere talk.
Working with puppets makes a child open up very quickly, and again it tends to make the child attached him or herself with the puppet, such that when the child is trying to manipulate the puppet, the child feels that he is connected to the puppet. So the information just comes out other than the so-called conventional way.
The child, no matter how illiterate the child would be, truth comes out during the interview, especially when interviewing children, and it is a very playful tool that and very practical, as I said before. And as a counselor, I find it easy, and I can interview so many children using puppets for sure, and it makes me understand very fast, even in the first interview, the family background, and during now analysis and writing report, it makes my work easier as a counselor. So it is very, very practical and very, very good, and I would recommend that maybe all counselors who are handling children and families would go through puppet interview methodology techniques.